All right, people. I wanted to thanks for joining me. Uh, just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about this post that I saw the other day. It's on my Twitter feed from Don Stillman. It says here, "You are welcome in Africa. Africans in the diaspora do not subscribe to the negativity and xenophobic coming from each other. ADOS, FBA, so much things we can do in Africa, business-wise and cultural exchange. Pan African." Now, so like I said, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to, not even here to change minds. I'm just really trying to break down some stuff and just ask questions, get myself to thinking. Anybody that can get something from it, hopefully you can get something from it. My first thing is this Don Selman guy. We don't really see a real picture of him, so we don't know if he's white, black. We don't know who he is because he doesn't really have his true face. He has a picture of Malcolm X here. Now he said the negativity and xenophobic. Now, hey, maybe there are some Black Americans that are xenophobic. Well, for the most part, from what I've seen, Black Americans are sick and tired of people coming over here that are melanated and have negative things to say about us and undermine us, and we can't ignore that. The other thing is, if you talk about in business wise, you have to do business with people who actually bring something to the table and have something of value. To just say business and all that we can do, see, that's vague language. You have to be able to be real specific about what you're talking about. What kind of business, and do they want to do business with us, and what's stopping them from? Because people say Black Americans, but hey, go to the Caribbeans, go to the Brazilians, go to the Panamanians, go to the Jamaicans. How come the the continent is not doing business with them, and how come the continent is not doing business with us? Because I would argue, or at least I would present to you evidence that the people in it's a bait and switch. The people in Africa don't want to be there because a lot of them don't control much of the resources over there, and like I said, many of them don't even want to be there. And cultural exchange is cool, but it has to be reciprocity. And here's this word, Pan African. What is a Pan African? What are the behaviors and the duties of a Pan Africanist? And a Pan African, show me the benefits and the actual results from the Pan Africanist, because I really don't see any. It's just a bunch of, hey, we need to come together. We need to come together. But where's the industry? Where's the media platform? Now I know the Africa Diaspora channel. He does stuff. He tries to bring a lot of Black people together, but to think that everybody needs to come together when everybody doesn't have the same goals, and not even everybody even is on the same page, and everybody is not a contributor. Everybody is not in good faith. So this whole pie in the sky, white people aren't all together, but they can still get stuff done because they have a mission, and that's to stay on top, and they know how to do things, and they have control of resources, and they make sure they give each other money. This is a money world. No matter what, this world is ran off of money and resources. Well, let's get into this. See what he got to say. First of all, well, I wonder. Like I said, I'm asking questions. What was his motivation to do this? Does he really want to, see people come together? But that's a pie in the sky. Before racism, before white people, it was African people fighting each other. African people sold Black people and all other people into slavery. Slavery wouldn't have happened without the African people.
This message is for all people of African descent and people within the African diaspora. As a person that was born and raised in Africa, I just want to let you know that
So is he still in Africa, or did he leave like so many others?
I love and appreciate you. I want to let you know that in Africa, I just want to let you know that I love and appreciate you.
Well, that's nice.
I want to let you know that I see you, I hear you, and I feel you. There's been a lot of negativity that's been spewed about how Africans feel about you, and I'm telling you, it could not be further from the truth.
That's a lie.
How Africans feel about you, and I'm telling you, it could not be further from the truth.
That's a lie. And here, let me just provide proof. I saw this on Tariq Nasheed's well, this is on my Twitter, and I saw this on his page.
That, oh, this happened to them.
You being a man from an African family, what would your family say about you bringing like an American woman?
My daughter's mom is American. Most African parents, if we're being
You being a man from an African family, what would your family say about you bringing like an American woman?
my daughter's mom is American. Most African parents, if we're being honest, they would actually prefer you bring home a white person. Parents, if we're being honest, daughter's mom is American. Most African parents, if we're being honest, they would actually prefer you bring home a white person. It's messed.
Most African parents would actually prefer you bring home a white person. So either this guy is lying. These are just possibilities. So I don't know. But one possibility is that he's lying. That other guy, that Swaggy Mo, he's lying, or maybe he's just ignorant. That's all I can come up with. Maybe other people could come up with other possibilities. Of course, not everybody over there feels like that, but we gotta understand that it's a lot of people that feel like that. And when I mean a lot, I mean more than 1,000. I'm saying in the millions.
Daughter's mom is American. Most African parents, if we're being honest, they would actually prefer you bring home a white person. It's messed up because, like, we talk about Uncle Tom's and racism and what it did to African Americans, but colonialism did a number on African Americans, but colonialism did a number on Africans.
A lot of Africans seem to think colonialism is not a form of slavery. And you will get some, not all, but you will get some that actually act like, well, slavery is worse. Well, we're the minority over here. We're only like 12, 14%. The Eurasians have conquered Africa in the past, and they conquering it now. So it's all being colonized. So for us to even go over there and do business, how can we do business with the people when they don't even control a lot of the resources in the land?
So a lot of Africans.
And then you hear not all the time, but you do hear some stories about how some of the natives over there in Africa don't actually rock with the Black Americans that come over there.
They default to thinking white people are
Superior.
So it's more, it goes from white people to Asian.
Said they
About Uncle
default.
Tom's and racism and what it did to African Americans, but colonialism did a number on Africans. So a lot of Africans, they default to thinking white people are
Superior.
So it's more, it goes from white people to Asian, Hispanic, and then Black. America's number one export is entertainment. A lot of Africans know our culture as far as our food and our clothes and things like that, but we don't necessarily know the context. So we don't consider y'all's context. So we don't think about Jim Crow, or we don't think about, post-traumatic slavery. We don't think about that stuff. So we just look at it kind of like how Asian people look at it. Why are those niggas acting the way that they do? Even though we have a kind of similar story, we don't make that same connection that, oh, this happened to them, then this happened to them, and this happened to them, and it's still happening. So that's why we have that same kind of mindset.
I would ask why. Why? Well, maybe some of it we know is because of the media, and the media is whitewashed, and they're really not controlling the curriculum in school. I remember talking to a guy from the Philippines, and the guy from the Philippines was talking about how America was their friend and saved them from the Japanese, and he didn't even know that the Philippines and America was actually at war with each other, and America did a couple of atrocities over there. So that's why you got to question everything. Most of what I won't say most, but we don't know anything. And the more you ask questions, the more you realize you don't know anything. People and I saw something with Dr. Phil today where he said people aren't really trying to win an argument and not really trying to solve the problem. We just need to be trying to solve the problem. Let me get back to this guy's post. But that's just to show, hey, we see And there's plenty of examples we see that many of these Africans, from our own experience and online, when they tell it themselves, they don't really like Black Americans, and they don't come over here. What it come actually come over here as competition and don't mind undermining. They will not undermine the white man because they see this the white man as superior. It's just like, and that's why I'm glad. It's just like Django Unchained. I'm glad Quentin Tarantino made that movie because a lot of the stuff in that movie um, shows the psychology and why we are what we are right now. When you get the Mandingo fighters fighting each other to the death. Now, supposedly the Mandingo fighters didn't actually exist. I don't think it was actually like Mandingo fighters like that. I'm not sure. That's just what I read. But even if it's not real, the lesson is still there because two big, burly black dudes fighting each other to the death for two white men that they can easily beat them up. But yet they don't do that and they go right back. It's just like the Frederick Douglass story. He said he beat up a slave master, but he still returned into slavery for he still was a slave for a while until he decided to become free. It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing and it's an awareness thing. And the only way you can get awareness is to first of all you have to be honest. You can't really lie to yourself in order to gain awareness. So you have to be a truthful person, and you have to be a person that can actually take criticism, and a person that is willing to study and seek self improvement. Other than that, you're not gonna get awareness, and everything is just really gonna go over a person's head, and they're gonna try to argue you and waste your time because they're not trying to deal with the alternatives because they're not gonna do anything about the alternative. That's why I just say, what if?
And I
If you're wrong, what are you gonna do, if anything, or what's the solution?
urge you to go to Africa and find out for yourself. You will be treated with so much love and so much respect and so much compassion
I'm
from
pretty
the
sure
truth.
in many
And
cases
I
you
urge
will, but in some cases we've heard the story. It's not this whole thing. The dude is acting like that's what I'm saying. This is like a con. If it talk like a duck and walk like a duck, it's a duck. You telling us to go there, you go over there and you get with everybody else, and y'all build it up now. So then we can go to something and say, okay, y'all done did this. Now let's contribute. Instead of us building up something, we already built this country. That's the thing with with mass integration, with immigration, because the thing is, you can't just bring somebody in this country and just say they're American. America is a mindset. It's a mindset of entrepreneurialism, of patriotism, of that can do itness, problem solving. You know, we are the government, resisting tyranny. We don't really run from tyranny. When we talk about the ideal American, we fight it. Do we always know what? We can't bring in a bunch of other people that ain't gonna fight it. They're just gonna weaken the cause and weaken any resistance to tyranny and to corruption because they just like, hey, I ran from my other country, I fled from there, and well, I ain't really trying to make no waves over here, but I'll go against y'all because I ain't trying to go back, and I'll show that too.
not be further from the truth. And I urge you
That's a lie.
from the truth. And I urge you to go to Africa and find out for yourself. You will be treated with so much love and so much respect and so much compassion because the people out there, they just get it. Welcome home is what they're going to tell you. As a person that was born in Africa, I don't see myself having more rights to Africa than you do. It's the land of your ancestors. You have every bit of right
Africa's, from what they claim, it's the land of everybody's ancestors. So what difference does it make?
to live there. You have every bit of right to invest there, to
Where? Where?
vacation there. You have every bit of right and responsibility to protect it.
Right and responsibility. That's just like telling somebody from Ireland, Tell the white person from Ireland they gotta go back to Ireland. Irish person here, they gotta go back to Ireland and protect Ireland. It's your responsibility to protect over there. We've born over here. Totally different lineage.
to protect it as is yours. Vacation there, you have every
Hold on, I just got like he keeps on like it's ours, man. Let me show this.
Expresses. There's no particular direction, but then there
It says the man said 90% of the people he graduated school with have fled the country. Meanwhile, Pan African is trying to tell me to go build Africa, but I'm not from Africa. I'm staying right here in America, my country where I'm not I'm not an immigrant and the one my ancestors built. The one my ancestors built, the one we didn't run to for a better life. Laser focus on my community down here in the South, the place you Pan Africans, Pan Africanists, and ivory towers won't go for real. And peep how the Nigerian woman who grew up in America got checked and called privileged by the Nigerian women who grew up there. It's a privilege to be in America. Oh, but they love it so much. They love Africa so much. But it's a privilege to be in America. Oh, so much to unpack. Mm-mm-mm. So well, let's listen to this. Yeah, I'm not bashing anybody, but you got to fix your own country. Because the thing is, if you fix your own country, that's gonna make it better for us. Because then we can hold our. It's gonna make it easier for us to hold our own government accountable.
expresses. There's no particular
Just like that dude over in Ecuador. You know, he cleaned up the country apparently from what we've seen. So they say. So now we can say, hey, we know this can get taken care of in a short period of time, and that's what's gonna happen. The American people ain't gonna stand for a lot of this BS that's going on.
direction. But then there are some Nigerians who still have hope in Nigeria and come in
They
the
still have hope in
figurative part, which
Nigeria, so that
expresses. There's no
so don't try to tell us to go over there and she talked about some of the people don't even have hope in the country and they fleeing to not just America.
particular direction. But then there are some Nigerians who still have hope in Nigeria and come in the figurative part, which is you're moving with a purpose. There are Nigerians who intend to go and come back. There are Nigerians who go to improve themselves personally and professionally to come back. And there are lots of them who have come back to create opportunities for other people. So Nigeria is a developing country, right? But then there are countries that have more resources, more infrastructure than we have. And it's not a big deal if some persons want to go.
I would say why. Like I said, I'm just asking questions. Why? Why do they have more resources than you all have? Why are you guys still not? Why are you guys still developing and not already developed when you have many of the world's natural resources? Now, I do understand there's a lot of interference, but at the same time, I mean, in America, it was founded on basically fighting against tyranny and government overreach. The white Anglo Saxons did it, and the Black Americans did it. I mean, that's just really that's what it means to be American. That's one of the things that in our culture.
Infrastructure than we have. And it's not a big deal if some persons want to go, get better, and come back. At the same time, you can't also stop people from wanting to go and not come back. It still ends up with every individual opinions and choices at the end of the day.
Okay, so I want to talk to Dr. Fuller for a second because you're a doctor and then also interestingly a visual artist. I have no idea how you manage those two schedules. I can barely keep mine up. So your industry, medicine, is one of the worst affected by JAPA. at least from the reports that we're hearing. Tell us a little bit about that. Are you seeing an impact?
Almost 90% of the people I went to school with have left the country. There's something about being a medical doctor that Nigeria is really failing at. If you go to other countries, Western countries, there's this huge amount of respect, and there's a care that's given to medical doctors that we do not have here. The fee is very bad, the living conditions very bad, and we if you break down what the government is giving to the doctors in the country here, it's really bad. I have a lot of hope for the new regime, hoping that things will change for sure. I'm also hoping that my
Now, and like I said, I'm just asking questions. Why would he have hope for the new regime? If the old regime and the regime before that wasn't helping you out, why would you have hope in this regime? Another thing with politics, man, you got to stay up on these politicians. You can't go for those generic, vague answers. You got to get have them be specific on when they're gonna do it and how they're gonna do it. Because why does he have hope in this regime? Just because they said so? I mean, people say a lot of things. They'll make it true. What if he's lying? What if they lying?
the new regime, hoping that things will change for sure. I'm also hoping that my colleagues will also come back to the country when they've developed themselves and all that. But most people just want to run. If you're a doctor, they when they've developed themselves and all that. But most people just want to run. If you're themselves and all that. But most people just want to run. If you're themselves and all that. But most people just want to run. If you're a doctor, there's no reason for you to be in Nigeria. That is what everybody says.
Okay, let me come back to Oludayo.
That is what everybody says.
Okay.
Reason for you to be in Nigeria. That is
So
what
he telling
everybody
us.
says.
So this dude, he telling us.
You have every bit of right to invest there, to vacation there. You have every bit of right and responsibility to protect it as is yours because
You
it
don't even
is.
want it. You don't. He trying to sell us a bad stock, man. Don't take a bad deal. He a snake oil salesman.
Okay, let me come back to Oludayo here for a second because you said that things are
It's a
bad,
bad
but there's
deal.
no reason to go. When
What's
you
the return
hear
on the
Dr.
investment?
Fallow speaking, I mean, surely those two worlds don't belong together.
So I'm not saying there's no reason to go, right? But if you are going, what's your intention? If everybody leaves Nigeria, so who will build Nigeria? That's the truth. We all have to go. Yes, you can go get the knowledge and come back and build Nigeria. Come and cause disruption in Nigeria. Yes, there's a problem, right? But in the face of problem, when you solve the problem, you create.
If everybody leaves, who builds Nigeria? Well, that's a good question. Somebody else. That's the thing. They passing the buck. When you see these military age men leave their country from, I'm just talking about Africa. I'm talking about South America, Eurasia, all these places. It's an abandonment of duty. It's your duty to build up your country.
We all have to go. Yes, you can go get the knowledge and come back and build Nigeria. Come and cause disruption in Nigeria. Yes, there's a problem, right? But in the face of problem, when you solve the problem, you create opportunity. Come to Nigeria, get the knowledge,
Now
create
that's the game
opportunity.
right there.
Come to Nigeria, get the knowledge over there, come back and create opportunity in Nigeria and make Nigeria a better place.
Okay.
Create opportunity. Problem, you create opportunity. In Nigeria. Yes, there's a problem, right? When
It's
the
a problem, he said.
face of problem, when you solve the problem, you create opportunity.
When you solve a problem, you create an opportunity. See, that's the and another thing with mass immigration, we not vetting people. We need to only have the best and brightest. I can't just go to any job without being qualified. When I have to interview for a job, you have to be able to show what kind of accomplishments and awards you had because they want to know how you can produce. And we not they just letting anybody over here, not the best and brightest, which lets you know that's some BS in the game. But what he just said, when you solve a problem, you create an opportunity. That's correct. And the thing is, too many people and a lot of these places, there's a problem and they like somebody else solve it. I'm leaving. I'm gonna let somebody else handle that responsibility, and I'm gonna come over here where somebody else already built it up. If you want to say white people, black people, whoever you trying to say built it up, you still going to somewhere else where somebody else built it up and somebody else is in charge. And a lot of those people are okay with that. They're okay being second class citizens, being second place, third place, fourth place, whatever. As long as they ain't in their homeland.
Come to Nigeria, get the knowledge over there.
And that's just a fact in many cases. You can't argue that. It's not about right or wrong. I mean, it's a fact. He's saying it. A lot of these other guys have said. A lot of these other people have said it. The truth don't really care about feelings.
Come back and create opportunity in Nigeria and make Nigeria a better place.
Okay.
Hope is not a strategy. You don't hope, you keep hoping for 60 years. We have people in power who are not concerned about the people, they are concerned about their pockets. Imagine me get out of the country, get out the knowledge, come back, and I'm being sabotaged, I'm being killed just because I need to strike a deal with someone in government to make my idea come to reality. Imagine me get out of the country, get out the knowledge, come back, and I'm being sabotaged, I'm being killed just because I need to strike a deal with someone in government to make my idea come to reality. I mean, we're talking about
Now that
the
corruption
people
is
that are concerned
everywhere
about
though.
the people that are concerned about the people that are concerned about their pockets.
That's the other thing. Like a lot of these people, like, oh, our government corrupt, so we had to leave. So then when we Black Americans say, oh, our government corrupt, we need resources. They trying to deprive us of resources, or we need more resources. They undermined us by killing many of our leaders. Documented Jim Crow, red line, all kind of things. They'll come over here, many of them, and undermine us. Not all of them, but many of them, and say that ain't no excuse to get over it. But yet they'll use that same excuse on why they came over here. That's the problem. So the solution is Black Americans need to circle around wagons, close ranks, and be very watchful of the people that try to come around that are not from here, and make sure that if they ain't being productive or useful or valued, and they just got to sit on the sidelines, and because you can't let people come in and mess up what you're doing.
About their pockets. Imagine me get out of the country, get out the knowledge, come back, and I'm being sabotaged, I'm being killed just because I need to strike a deal with someone in government to make my idea come to reality. I mean, we're talking about a country where you can literally not say what will happen the next time. No security, no infrastructure. And you're telling me that I should go. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that all the countries are not like that.
Hope
I'm
is not a
saying that
strategy.
there are things that I should be certain about. There are things that should be norm for me, provided by the government. That's the reality of what we are talking about.
Give me a second because Nimide had.
Yes, and I also think that you can't discount the fact that the problems in Nigeria are very institutional. People leave this country. I have friends who have left this country, and in 3 years they have houses because there's mortgage systems. We don't have that in Nigeria. We do not have that in Nigeria, and it's even we do, it's accessible. I think that we come from a place of. I think that we're coming from a place of privilege. If you think that
let's listen to.
I think that it comes from a place of privilege. If you think that a normal person can access the things that you say that is no, you just
no. This is the problem. I think oftentimes because we have access to social media, we think everyone's life is.
This is another thing. Like these folks over there, they can't even get on the same page. That's the thing. So you bring somebody over who has a habit of not cooperating, not following directions, not being a problem solver. It's gonna be some issues. Being a hater, because a lot of that is just being a hater, not wanting to see your fellow man do better, even if that means your fellow man is doing better than you. I heard it say it once. People want to see you do good, just not better than them.
It's perfect. It's not like that. Even in the abroad, you have to have a certain kind of salary to get a certain kind of mortgage to get a certain kind of house.
See, the thing what I've noticed is what the European did, is they were able to get a lot of people on the same page, even when they fight each other, because what they did is they had a common enemy. It was a clearly distinguished enemy, and they offer benefits and privileges to a group, to a specific group.
Everywhere has its own kind of strategies and rules. He said something about a doctor, and I know even when I was trying to study medicine, Doctors are supposed to have some kind of ingrained reason to want to help people. So for the fact that people are running away because of money is a problem to me.
Well, I mean, this is a money world, and a lot of doctors go into being a doctor for money. They get paid to prescribe different medications. So to think that that's what I'm saying, that pie in the sky mentality. Like, this is a real world, man. It's good doctors and it's bad doctors, and it's good and bad of everything. And it's greedy people out here, and most people do things for money.
You took an oath to save lives.
But don't you think? Hold on, Nimide.
Doctors died, but they
problem that took 8 years for the government to fix. That took 8 years for the government to fix. And when this problem was addressed, what did the government say? They said it was a spiritual attack on the medical profession.
Hold on. Let's just come back to center for a second. You said something about the medical profession and questioned what is.
All right, so I guess that's the end of that. So let's just hear the rest of this. Because what he said is pretty much debunked. They don't control the resources in a lot of these African countries. The Eurasians, the Europeans, the Chinese, I mean, they all over there controlling the resources. So he trying to get us to go over there, Black Americans in particular. Go ask the Brazilians. I want to see them plead for the Brazilians, for the Jamaicans, for the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans. Go and plead to them.
I want to take this moment to congratulate my brothers and sisters within the African American community. I just want to let you know that you guys have come so far. You guys are so resilient. Ignore all the negative labels that are spewed against you.
I'm not ignoring nothing a underminer say. If you got an underminer, you need to pay close attention to that and neutralize it immediately.
You guys are the most talented, the most influential group of people in this world, period. All the negative
people use flattery as a way to get your defenses down, whether true or not.
Things that are spewed against you are meant to block you from seeing your power, from seeing your light.
Yeah, I agree with that. Haters will try to get your confidence down.
From seeing your light.
They project their own insecurity.
All the negative things that are spewed against you are meant to block you from seeing your power, from seeing your light. A lot of people are short-sighted, but I see the bigger picture. I see us harmoniously living together, exchanging ideas and uplifting our community.
That's pie in the sky talk, man. How we gonna do all this? That's what I want to know. In the business, I can go to a company, go to one of these tech places, let them know I got this idea. They want to know how. Where's the pitch deck? Where's the business plan? How is this gonna be executed? Not this vagary stuff.
We are so much stronger together. Yes, we have some minute differences in culture, but the things that unite us is so much greater than you can possibly imagine.
What is the thing that unites us? Besides, we have melanin. Because what unites us should be uniting you all over there already, and we just heard that that's not the case for whatever reason. Sure, it's outside influence, but at the same time, you gotta be able to. The big question is with Africans and Black Americans and any other group is, do you really want to see, and are you comfortable seeing other people succeed? Are you comfortable seeing other people succeed, even if they get more credit than you, more money than you, more clout than you? Or will that make you feel bad and you'll just sabotage the whole thing?
And I can already hear some of the negative Nancy's trying to say something to divide us further.
I remember I was hearing Alex Jones yesterday. He said about the movie There Will Be Blood when Daniel Day-Lewis said he got a competition in him and he don't like to see people succeed or do better than him. That's a lot of people, white, black, or whatever. It's a lot of people. That's why I came to the conclusion, like, hey, I could be wrong, but I came to the conclusion that you can't have world peace because you have too many people that's jealous haters out here. If a person is jealous, they're gonna eventually do something. That's why you gotta go to people, you gotta ask questions. You can't, and you gotta look at the actions. You gotta ask questions without assuming that you know a person or you can't just go off of words, you gotta go off of actions. And if those actions ain't adding up, then you gotta walk away from that person.
Don't even try it on this post. I have 530 something different posts. You can go steal all your BS there. I do not care. Not on this one. I will block you faster than you can blink your eye. Don't even play with me. It's been way too many factors trying to divide us. We can't afford anybody within our community to continue to spew this nonsense. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. And stay black.
So he said too many factors that divide us. So what is he gonna do? What's the first step? Because that's just pie in the sky talk. Just vague words come together. All this other stuff help out. Well, like I said, you show us how it's done first. Then some people gonna go over there. If you build it, they will come. Like Field of Dreams. So I'm telling the people in Africa, more power to you. If you build it, they will come. But clearly, from some of those other videos, a lot of people ain't trying to be over in Africa for whatever reasons that you heard there, and maybe even some other reasons. So, hey, I'll pass for right now. Seemed like a bad deal.